It's Rockipedia with David Miller. Brought to you by Stone's Guitar Repair in Bend, Oregon. StonesGuitarRepair.com. So how's it going? I hope it's going well. I have had a good several days since I talked to you last. It's been a while. Actually. I think I dropped the Brandon Cook interview on Friday, and that was awesome. And I really thank Brandon for that. And I told you that I was making some changes, and this is going to be the first edition of one of those changes. So this is going to be a single segment on our one subject. Yeah, wow, Dave, you're cutting things down. Now, I don't know how long this is going to take because I picked a deep subject for this first one because it's me. You're just going to have to tolerate that I like to talk and I like to share information and I love music. And so sometimes these things just take a while. But I don't think this one's going to be super long. I am going to introduce you into some very cool stuff today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you some stuff that you may not have seen before and introduce you to some artists. This is a look what I found. You know, I was doing those in the previous episodes where I find a band and focus on them. Well, this time I decided I was going to do something slightly different, and we're going to focus on what I'm calling and what a lot of people are calling modern classic rock. Now, these are bands that are doing music that has a definite 60s, 70s, 80s vibe to it. To some degree. Now, not all of them are the same. I hate to break rock music up into tiny little genres because I think it reduces it somehow. But our society seems to want to go that way. So I'm going to play ball, people. I'm going to play ball and try to share some great bands with you that are kind of all over the map, but they're all based in a 70s classic rock or guitar rock edge, if that makes sense. This is going to be fun either way. You're going to find a lot of great bands today with this. Let's thank our friends over at Stone's Guitar Repair real quick. Check this out.
Guitar Repair. Dive into the symphony of sound with over 60 years of expertise in fretted instrument repair. Trust your prized instrument to the best. Stone's Guitar Repair, located on Franklin in Bend, Oregon. Or visit us online at stonesguitarrepair.com.
Ian Stone over there does great work on guitars and things of the guitar nature. Now, I found these guys kind of found me via one of my deep dives on YouTube. Probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I first heard them and their debut album, which I believe was self-titled. Yes, it was. It's right there on the screen, people. Look at all that information I got for you. So Dirty Honey is the band we're talking about. Their current lineup is Jaden Bean on drums, Justin Smolian on bass, Mark LaBelle, vocals, that's a lead singer's name if I've ever heard one, Mark LaBelle, and John Noto, or Noto. Noto. We're going to go that way. John Noto, guitarist. And they formed in 2017. They're from Los Angeles, California. Like I said, their first album was a self-titled album. Came out in March of 2019. Had several cool songs on it. Very strong debut album. Their latest album will floor you. It's fantastic. Front to back. It's probably one of the best rock albums I've heard in a decade. It's called Can't Find the Brakes. Came out in November. They're currently on tour in Europe. They come back to the States for at least a handful of dates in May, and then I don't know what they're doing afterwards. I want you to go and discover these guys, so if you're digging what I'm laying down, make sure you head over to their websites, their Facebooks, their whatevers, Instas, all that, and hit them up and follow them, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to try to introduce you to bands that you're going to love and you're going to want to follow up on. And I think these guys are definitely going to be one of those. So we're going to check out a little bit of them right now. Their new album, like I said, Can't Find the Brakes, amazing. And so I've picked a song for you that's the first single from that album. And this is called Won't Take Me Alive from Dirty Honey. We're just going to listen to a little bit of it. I might give you a little bit of reaction along the way. And then we'll go on to our next artist here in just a few. Here's Dirty Honey. So you can see why these guys are rocking, right? That's good stuff. Dirty Honey, You Won't Take Me Alive, from their new album, Can't Find the Brakes. So make sure you check these guys out. I will have their links and information in the description of the video, so you can follow up for some Dirty Honey. All right, next up for our Look What I Found modern classic rock, I have the band Blackberry Smoke. Now, I love these guys. These guys, I've been into these guys since the mid-2000s, probably, 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. And they just get better and better all the time. Blackberry Smoke formed in 2000. They're from Atlanta, Georgia. Their first album, Bad Luck Ain't No Crime, came out in 2003. Now, this is the first band to come out and have a #1 on Billboard's Top 100 country band in like ages. They set some record with that, and I want you to go research that because it's out there. All that information's out there. But they are made up of Britt Turner and Richard Turner, who are brothers, and they're a fantastic rhythm section together. Charlie Starr, the vocalist, guitar player, and main songwriter, is a talent beyond belief. And these guys tend to lean between Southern rock and even country to some degree, but they're definitely got that 70s Southern rock, Allman Brothers, Lynyrd Skynyrd vibe going on. Paul Jackson's the other guitar player and vocalist, and Brendan Still keyboard. Now, that was the original lineup of Blackberry Smoke for probably 10 years. And then since they've gotten a little bigger, they've been doing better shows. They're on their like 9th or 10th or something album. Benji Shanks guitar and Preston Holcomb percussion. Both those guys were touring musicians with the band for several years, probably 6 or 7 years. And with this new album that's about to come out, it's called Be Right Here. It'll be out February 16th, this Friday. And those guys are now permanent members, and they're on the album. They're on the album cover. They're in the mix, ladies and gentlemen. Currently, Blackberry Smoke on the road in the U.S. And so I want you to check out the latest from them. This is a new single from Be Here Now, which, like I said, will be out on Friday, the 16th of February. It's Blackberry Smoke, ladies and gentlemen.
Pockets or where you give, dig a hole. Yeah, dig a hole. Big man, little man, pulling on a dollar. Fork in the road, man, who you gonna follow? Right man, wrong man, down to the wire, where you speak the truth with your feet to the fire. Dig a hole. The lesser of all evils, the devils we all know, trying to get a licking, round and round we go. Let's all say what we came to say. Ain't enough time for the games we play.
Man, that's good stuff, right? Yeah. So I've been into these guys for quite a while, like I said, and I saw them in Portland, a club called Dante's, tiny club, and it was right when their biggest album to that date came out, Whippoorwill. Go get it; it's a great album. But every album they've released since, and they're prolific. They've released lots of albums, like every year and a half or so, we get a new Blackberry Smoke album. They're a fantastic live band, and they're just fucking cool. I'll have links in the description for these guys as well. All the artists you see today, you'll be able to connect to through the description. Go buy their stuff. Support these artists. That's why we're here. Thank you, Blackberry Smoke, for the rock and roll. Next up on our Look What I Found Modern Classic Rock edition, we have the Struts. Now, these guys are very cool because they are quintessential rock stars. They came out of the gate as rock stars. They've taken a little bit from they're from England, Derby in Derbyshire, actually. And they formed in 2012. They're made up of vocalist Luke Spiller, drummer Gethin Davis, Jed Elliott on bass, and Adam Slack on guitar. They even have rock and roll names, right? And they embody the thing that Aerosmith and the Stones and those kinds of bands did, and the glam stuff. There's a little bit of Bowie in them. There's a little bit of Queen in them. There's a whole lot of British 60s era rock in them. And I think you're going to really dig them. Their first album came out, Everybody Wants, 2014. Their second album's amazing. It's really a great sophomore effort. And we saw them, my wife and kids and I saw them open for the Foo Fighters in Eugene on the tour for their second album, and we're blown away. And I immediately became a huge fan, and I followed them ever since. All their albums are really good. There's some inconsistency between them, but the newest one, I think there's one album that I think's a little weaker than the rest. It's still a great album. And I'm not going to tell you what they are because I don't want to color your opinion of them as you go in. If I'm not going to tell you they're amazing, I'm not going to hack on the individual album. They have hot and cold moments. All bands do. Their newest album is fantastic. They got right back on track if they were ever off. And I don't think they were off. I think it's just my opinion, my taste at the moment when I was listening to it. Pretty Vicious is their new album, came out in November. Like I said, it's fantastic. And they are currently touring in Australia. This is the first single off of their newest album. They've released a couple singles. Like I said, every song on it's worth listening to. This one is one of my favorites, though. It's got so much attitude, and you'll see why I say they are just quintessential rock stars. They've got it right here. This is the Struts with Too Good at Raising Hell.
Designer suits, Gucci gloves, Chelsea boots. All my demons are cocaine-fueled electrical. Sugar tooth, caramel, silky smooth. Diving into class A's, old swimming pools. I sex so good, make the neighbors smoke a cigarette. But I'm still bored to death. Think I'm getting too good at raising hell. But I'm wearing it well. I'm getting too good at raising hell. Oh, I'm ringing the bell. I run a hotel without any beds, run a catwalk without any threads. Driving myself right into the storm, burning my cash to keep myself warm. Staying at the party when everyone's left. What a good.
These guys are just so good, and they write the best pop hooks. Just fun stuff. And I will stand by this for the rest of my days. Sex so good, make the neighbors smoke a cigarette is one of the best rock lyrics ever. That's just fantastic. Yeah. So you're going to want to check out more of the Struts. Their description and all their links will be down in the description. And there's plenty of their music out there to get you going. So make sure you go check it out. Next up on the Look What I Found Modern Classic Rock Edition is the Cold Stares. Now, these guys are from Madisonville, Kentucky, at least two of them. The duo got together, the guitar player and drummer. So Brian and Chris got together in Madisonville, Kentucky, started putting some songs together, doing some recording, doing some performing as a duo, kind of White Stripes vibe. And they've since added in Bryce Clue on bass. So we have Chris Tapp on vocals and guitar, Bryce Clue on bass, Brian Mullins on drums, and they are the Cold Stares. Their first album was called Cold Wet Night, came out in 2012. And I believe that was the duo put that out together. And the latest album, Voices, just came out last fall, I believe. They're currently touring the U.S., and they are pretty cool. I think you're going to dig them. The Cold Stairs as part of Look What I Found on Rockipedia with David Miller. So you can kind of get that 70s vibe, 60s vibe. This has a little bit of cream in it, honestly. The Cold Stairs. So you're going to want to check them out, I can tell already. So find more about them in the description. Look what I found. I found some good music. Next up on the modern classic rock edition of Look What I Found, I have a band called Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. Very cool stuff. They formed in 2011, and they're from Nashville, Tennessee. And they're made up of Tyler Bryant, the namesake, on guitar and vocals. Great writer. His wife is one of the ladies in Larkin Poe, if you know that band. They would be included in this group too. The modern classic rock genre, if we're going to make it a genre, they would be part of that. And he and her do some stuff together, Tyler, and I can't remember her name because I didn't do that kind of research. But that's something else for you to go find. Look, I'm giving you research, people. How incredible is that? I'm a giver. I'm a giver. Okay, back to Tyler Bryant. He's also got a famous son, or a son of a famous person. That's what I'm trying to say. Graham Whitford is the son of Brad Whitford from Aerosmith. And Graham Whitford is a fantastic guitar player in his own right. And him and Bryant here, Mr. Tyler Bryant, do some great guitar work together. Ryan Fitzgerald on bass, and they're rounded out by Caleb Crosby on drums. Their first album was My Radio, came out in 2011. Their latest album, Shake My Roots, came out in late 2022. Their next show is in May in Nashville, and I'm hoping they're going to do some wider touring because I haven't had a chance to see them yet, and I'd like to. And I think after you see this, you're going to feel the same way. Here is Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown on Rockipedia with David Miller. You got to love the old truck, right? Yeah, that's classic rock right there. Right? Yeah, you know you're already looking up his stuff. Yeah, you're already there. You're already going, hey, Tyler Bryant, it's good stuff. And this has got that kind of bluesy Texas Roadhouse rock and roll thing going on. And trust me, both those guys are shredders guitar-wise, so you're going to want to go check that out. Links, you know where they're at, right down there. Follow up with these folks, because that's why I'm doing this. I also want to thank my friends at Rock 98.3, The Twins, our local rock station. They sported me a t-shirt. We talk. We're friends. I can boost them. All right, there's more coming. Look, I've got another artist right here. All right, so next up, we have Rival Sons. Man, this band hit me hardcore when I first found them probably 7-8 years ago, even longer than that maybe. They formed in 2006 from Long Beach, California. We have a local musician named Richard Tallur, who is a godfather to Jay Buchanan, who is the singer from Rival Sons. Rival Sons played here last summer. I got to see them. They were on a bill with Smashing Pumpkins and Stone Temple Pilots. It was a really good show. I also saw them. My daughter took me to see Rival Sons in a small venue in Portland, probably 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago. And that was fantastic, getting to see them up close. They're amazing live. Jay Buchanan, like I said, on vocals. Scott Holliday on guitar, an amazing guitar player. And he's got this 60s fuzz tone vibe that I don't think anyone else is doing right now except him, and it's fantastic. Dave Best on bass and Michael Miley on drums. Michael Miley used to be in a couple other bands like Veruca Salt. He was the drummer in Veruca Salt back in the day. First album was Before the Fire, 2006, and then the latest album, Lightbringer, is part of a double album thing that they did last year, or in 2023. They released Dark something and Lightbringer. Dark Killer and Lightbringer, or something like that. I'm giving you more things to find out. They're currently touring Europe, and I've got the first single that they released off of the dark part of the double album set that they just released is what I was going to play for you today. It's called Nobody Wants to Die from Rival Sons. I love the Quentin Tarantino-esque video for this song. Very, very cool. And what a great tune. And these guys are somebody that if you listen to all their albums, you'll hear the Animals, you'll hear the Stones, you'll hear some Aerosmith, you'll hear some Zeppelin, you'll hear a lot of what they offer themselves mixed in there. It's just fantastic stuff. So make sure you check out Rival Sons. I'm going to have information in the description, like I am for everybody on this video. And then tell all your friends, and tell them where you found it. Rockipedia with David Miller. All right, and last up on our Look What I Found Rockipedia with David Miller. I've got a great band for you. But first, I wanted to talk about this graphic for a minute because there's bands on here I did not get the opportunity to share with you, and I want to make sure you check them out. Monster Truck, fantastic power trio, doing some heavy rock that's got a definite 70s influence to it. You're going to dig them. Blacktop Mojo, they're a little more modern, but they're referencing back to the classic rock in their songwriting, and I swear to you, the singer sounds like if Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 had a hard rock band. And I mean that as a compliment. I like Rob Thomas. I think he's got a good voice. Larkin Poe, I mentioned earlier, one of the ladies in Larkin Poe. They are a female duo. They incorporate slide, pedal steel, banjo, all kinds of stuff into their music, but it's always kind of got this bluesy rock undertone to it. One of the ladies is married to Tyler Bryant from Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown, who we featured a few minutes ago. We have talked about the Southern River Band before on this show, and I featured them for you, and they're worth checking out again if you didn't get a chance to, or if you only saw the video that I played on an earlier episode, then go Google Southern River Band. Also Google Goodbye June and Dust Coda. All great bands. But I'm going to finish this thing up with a band that at first I resisted these guys. I was trying really hard not to like them. And my daughter came to me and she goes, "Dad, you're just being stupid." And I said, "You know what? You're probably right." And she's a huge fan. My daughter Chloe is a huge fan. And the more I listen to them, the more I get what they're doing, the more I appreciate them. First, I thought they were just a bunch of young kids just mimicking Zeppelin. It seemed like something you'd see at a high school talent show to me. And I was wrong. I was deadly wrong on that. These guys are very, very talented. The singer is amazing. The vocals he is capable of, and the way he carries himself, and the confidence with which he is exactly who he is. This is me, and you can take me or leave me, and I love that attitude. They are made up of brothers. The vocalist, Josh, the guitarist, Jake, and bass player, Sam, are all brothers. Danny Wagner on drums rounds out the quadruple threat there. And they formed in 2012. They're from Frankenmuth, Michigan. When I first read Frankenmuth, I was like, oh, they're German. I didn't know that. And then I saw Michigan, and I went, wait a minute. So they're from right here in the good old US of A. But they are huge globally already. And one of the things I think actually hurt these guys in reputation was the velocity with which they became huge. It seemed like these young kids came out of nowhere and were suddenly one of the biggest bands in the world. And a lot of us old rock and rollers went, wait a minute, because we're old rock and rollers. That's the old rock and roller version of Get Off My Lawn. Those kids are they're just ripping off No, they aren't ripping off anything except good music. And they're ripping it off all over the world. They're currently touring the U.S. and South America. If you can catch them, please do. My daughter says they're fantastic. She's seen them a couple times. I look forward to trying to see them as soon as I possibly can. And I think you'll dig them too. So we're going to check out a little bit of Greta Van Fleet as we wrap up our Look What I Found, brought to you by Stone's Guitar Repair in Bend, Oregon. And, of course, Rockipedia with David Miller. Here they are. This is the boys, Greta Van Fleet. And this is off of their newest album. This is called The Falling Sky.
I've been handed a happy landing and highly standing in line at a
definitely have that Zeppelin vibe. And I love the kind of mysticism and the costuming they choose. And that's kind of the whole point of what I'm talking about on this little episode here, is we've got great bands that are bringing forward the music we all loved growing up with, and that you know, came before guys my age. I'm 56. But, you know, we love the Zeppelin, we love the Aerosmith, we love the Allman Brothers and the Skinnerd, and we love all that stuff. And yet when a new band comes out and does it, we criticize them and go, wait a minute, what are you doing? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense, people. We got to quit doing that. We got to look at it for what it is. My daughter's 25, and she loves this fucking band. That means that she loves classic rock. She loves the stuff that we love. Can't be anything wrong with that. Not a goddamn thing. So, that's what I think. Oh, that's good stuff. I love it. I love it. And I love doing this for you. I love that you're here watching. Thank you. You're right there. Look at you. Reach out and touch you. So, a fun edition. Look what I found. Modern classic rock we covered today. And that was brought to you by our friends at Stone Guitar Repair. I'll be back with another edition of something very, very soon. So, you know what? Thank you for checking it out.
Stone's Guitar Repair. Dive into the symphony of sound with over 60 years of expertise in fretted instrument repair. Trust your prized instrument to the best. Stone's Guitar Repair, located on Franklin in Bend, Oregon. Or visit us online at stonesguitarrepair.com.